Hey folks, welcome back to yet another episode of Yash Dugal's Book Club. The book we are reviewing today is Digital Minimalism by Cal Newport. What is it about? Choosing a focused life in a noisy world. I'll see you on the other side of the intro. I used to be a human being. An endless bombardment of news and gossip and images has rendered us manic information addicts. It broke me. It might break you too. This was written by Andrew Sullivan in New York Magazine in the year 2016, and it does not hold more true and more apt than now. People downloaded the apps and set up accounts for good reasons, only to discover with grim irony that these services were beginning to undermine the very values that made them appealing in the first place. They joined Facebook to stay in touch with friends across the country, and then ended up unable to maintain an uninterrupted conversation with a friend sitting across the table. In an open marketplace for attention, darker emotions attract more eyeballs than positive and constructive thoughts. For heavy internet users, repeated interaction with this darkness can become a source of draining negativity, a steep price that many don't even realize they are paying to support their compulsive connectivity. Digital minimalists spend so much less time connected than their peers, it's easy to think of their lifestyle as extreme. But the minimalist would argue that this perception is backward. What's extreme is how much time everyone else spends staring at their screens. The key to thriving in our high-tech world, they have learned, is to spend much less time using technology. Yes, now the question arises, am I not reading from a screen? But it's a Kindle. It's got less distractions. It's got more focus, I would say. And that's what the author says. You need to identify what is causing or eating up your time from doing value-added purposes in life. In my experience, most people who struggle with the online part of their lives are not weak-willed or stupid. They are instead successful professionals, striving students, loving parents. They are organized and used to pursuing hard goals. Yet, somehow the apps and sites beckoning from behind the phone and tablet screen, unique among the many temptations they successfully resist daily, manage to succeed in metastasizing unhealthily far beyond their original roles. The tycoons of social media have to stop pretending that they are friendly nerd gods building a better world and admit they are just tobacco farmers in t-shirts selling an addictive product to children. Because, let's face it, checking your likes is the new smoking. So what is digital minimalism? A philosophy of technology use in which you focus your online time on a small number of carefully selected and optimized activities that strongly support things you value, and then happily miss out on everything else. Put another way, in 90% of your daily life, the presence of a cell phone either does not matter or makes things only slightly more convenient. They are useful, but it's hyperbolic to believe its ubiquitous presence is vital. Much in the same way that the innovation of highly processed foods in the mid-20th century led to a global health crisis, the unintended side effects of digital communication tools, a sort of social fast food, are proving to be similarly worrisome. It's social media, so aren't people supposed to be socially connected? But the data was clear. The more time you spend connecting on these services, the more isolated you are likely to become. Phones have become woven into a fraught sense of obligation and friendship. Being a friend means being on call, tethered to your phone, ready to be attentive online. The author says, practice delete social media from your phone. So, the author says it does not undermine the importance and the use of technology. However, if the technology is deterrent to your progress, avoid it. And One of the solutions is to obviously delete apps or maybe use them only on desktop and not on your mobile phones. There are a lot of data which he has given. It's very nicely written. I personally, on a personal level, I'm very glad to have left Facebook since last year. However, the key thing which one needs to do is, once you leave a social website, replace it with something productive. Otherwise, it doesn't serve any purpose. To a social media pro, the idea of endlessly surfing your feed in search of entertainment is a trap. These platforms have been designed to take more and more of your attention. An act of being used by these services instead of using them to your own advantage. If you internalize some of this attitude, your relationship with social media will become less tempestuous and more beneficial. And really, replacing Facebook with reading books or putting my face on the book has caused tremendous change. In fact, I would not have been interacting with all of you if it weren't for that. It's time to bring back the dumb phone, in which he claims that a return to simpler phones is not as drastic a regression as you might think, or as it might have been a few years ago. His main argument is that tablets and laptops have become so lightweight and portable that there is no longer a need to try to cram productivity functionalities into increasingly powerful and therefore increasingly distracting smartphones. Phones can be used for calls and messages only. So in conclusion, digital minimalism definitively does not reject the innovations of the internet age, but instead rejects the way so many people currently engage with these tools. These days, anytime you are free for a second, the intuitive nudge is to put your hands in the pocket, remove the phone and look at it, whether there is a notification or not. And in doing so, we have lost our leisure time. Thanks for listening to me. I'll see you in the other one. A fun fact, or rather not so fun fact, is I'm reviewing this book about digital minimalism on the day I get my new phone. With that, take care, cheers, but it's high time that we do something about being digitally minimalist.